Hello everyone and welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck techs that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we have a mono black, really solid deck for you today. Horobi Death's Wail, an EDH deck focused on destroying creatures and controlling the board state and having a bunch of benefits off of all these death triggers. So I run Horobi in the Arkalos deck. If you haven't seen that yet, it's uploaded to the channel. But why not just go fully into mono black and do this with all of the cards that exist there? So, Horobi Death's Wail says that whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. So this is super disgusting, and it is pretty scary how consistent this can be in mono black. There are a lot of cards that do targeting, a lot of artifacts that do it. Anything that's an ability or a spell that's targeting something, the creature is going to immediately be destroyed. So really solid deck and affordable too for a deck like this. So TCG market value is $102 to $179. And our land count is 35 because we are not in green, we are in mono black, so 17 swamps and 18 non-basic lands. So let's get into how we're going to get this done today. So there are some consistent combos in the deck as well, and they revolve around Revel and Riches. So Revel and Riches says that whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you get a treasure, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. So not very difficult to do, and there are a lot of cards in this deck that kind of benefit off of this and let you basically destroy every single creature that your opponents have out. So things like Tetsamok, Primal Death, Bloodthirsty Blade, and Retribution of Ancients all require a single mana to do their targeting ability, which conveniently we will have once we kill the creature. So basically, if you pay that initial cost and attach this to a single creature, this loops for as many targets as you have out. So every single time you're going to target an opponent's creature or even your own creatures, they're going to die. And then that's going to make a treasure token, and then you can immediately use that treasure token to target something else. So really scary combo in this deck to really consistently keep the board state down on your opponent's side of the field. And then there's other cards here like Shadow Alley Denizen, where it says whenever another black creature enters, then that's when the target happens. So Shadow Alley Denizen basically would have to be out, and then you do a single target, and you either need Overseer of the Damned or Ogre Slumlord out as well, because they say whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you're creating a black creature, either a rat or a black zombie creature token, which would then trigger Shadow Alley Denizen's targeting ability. So same deal, you can basically destroy the entire board, and you would probably have a field loaded up with a bunch of tokens to swing. So really solid here. And then we get into our strategy of targeting creatures. So there are a ton of ways of doing this. Pretty scary stuff here. So Liquid Metal Torque and Liquid Metal Coating can turn something into an artifact. And if that happens to be a creature that's being targeted, it'll die with Horobi out. Inversion Behemoth lets you do multiple targets, which is solid. Drana Calastria Bloodchief does a target and then boosts her based on the toughness that it's draining. Ice Flow is saying that you can tap it and target creature without flying that's attacking you. You're tapping it, and then as long as Ice Flow remains tapped, then you leave it tapped. But we're not going to care about that because it's going to kill it right away. Distorting Lens lets you tap and target something to make it a color, so it'll die. Dothy Trapper and Dothy Embrace both give a target creature shadow, but if Horobi's out, that creature's going to die before they can benefit from it. Baton of Morale's giving banding off of the targeting. Desert's targeting an attacking creature and killing it. Cannibalize is doing 2 targets for 2 mana, so really solid. And usually there'd be a benefit of the living creature getting counters, but it won't, it'll die. And then Cauldron of Souls, really, really solid here. You can choose multiple targets and they're gaining persist until end of turn. So when it dies, if it had no -1 counters on it, you return it with a -1 counter. So you're going to get to basically wipe your opponent's board. All of them are going to come back with -1 counters, and then you can target it again and get double value. And then more targeting, some old cards here with Unspeakable Symbol. So you're paying life to put counters on things. Tower of Coriel is letting you do a single target. Tower of the Magistrate is a land that gives a target creature protection from artifacts for till the end of turn, but again, we don't care about that. It's going to kill it right away. Tooth of Chisgoria and Scale of Chisgoria are also targeting creatures. Scuttlebutt is targeting one to make it a certain color. And again, the effects don't really matter because the second it's targeted, it's gone. Squeeze Toy. I don't know if everyone knows about this card, but it's really solid for this deck in particular. You can prevent the damage to any creature, and sadly that creature is being targeted, so it'll die. Sandstorm Verge, target creature can't block, it's going to die. Rogue's Passage, same deal. Maze of Ith is stopping the attack and killing the creature. Wrathy Trapper, for a black mana, you can tap something and that'll kill it if Horobi's out. And then same with Oasis, similar to Squeeze Toy, you can prevent the damage, but again, it's targeting. And then even more targeting, so you kind of see how big this strategy is in the deck. And honestly, a lot of these abilities you can benefit from, so if they keep dealing with Horobi, you're not going to be completely in the water. So Nefastu says that when it attacks, 5 targets get -1 until end of turn, so that's 5 deaths. Sacred Armory is repeatable, you sink mana into it, same with Mirage Mirror. Mogus's Marauder is similar to Shadow Alley Denizen, except it does it on its own, so when it enters, it targets the creatures based off of your devotion to black. Oak Sure Shot is targeting them when a creature enters on your side, and then Requiem Monolith, a new card from Edge of Eternities, until end of turn. If the creature is dealt damage, you draw that many cards, but again, it won't be dealt damage, it'll just die. And then we've got these death benefits. So Horobi is very powerful in this deck, and we want to kind of get added value off of all of these benefits. So if we're going to be wiping the board a ton, these are the cards that are going to close the game out. So Yahenni's getting bigger, and he can get indestructible by sacking something. Black Market's going to make you a ton of mana. Mimic Vat is letting you choose targets. So if they've got a big scary thing out and you destroy it, you can exile it with Mimic Vat, and then you get to make a token of that. Seer Conrad, anytime graveyard stuff's happening, he's pinning people. Sangromancer says you're going to gain life when an opponent's creature dies. Massacre Worm's draining people when their stuff dies. Rise of the Dreadmard has to be situational, but it's a 3 mana instant, and you're going to get X black zombie creatures based on the number of creatures that died this turn. So if you're having a big turn where you're wiping everything, this pays out really well. Gissa Glorious Resurrector is letting you at upkeep put all of them that have been exiled when they died onto your side of the field, so you get to turn everything on your opponents. Blood Artist is draining everybody off of the death triggers. And then we've got a ton of recursion in the deck as well, because we do want to benefit off of our opponent's decks. If they're playing, better stuff, we can take it. So Witch's Cottage and Mortuary Mire are specific to your graveyard. Darkness Crystal, similar to Gissa, is exiling them off of the debts, and then for 6, you can put one on your side. Grave Betrayal is saying whenever a creature you don't control dies, you get to return it. So it is 7 mana, but it is so good in this deck. We need it. Rise of the Dark Realms and Thrilling Encore is bringing everything back. And then Endless Whispers is really funny in this deck because it says each creature has, whenever this creature is put into a graveyard from play, you have to choose an opponent. So the player with the creature chooses an opponent, and then the opponent gets the creature back into play under their control. So a little bit of chaos here, but again, this is going to just cause repeatable triggers. And if you think back to the death benefits, the creatures are never going to die, so you're going to basically get to keep destroying them and getting the benefits off of the death triggers, which is really solid. And then other good stuff in the deck, so we're running a Soul Ring, we're running Jet Medallion, discounting all these spells, we're running a Feed the Swarm for a removal, and then we've got Arcane Lighthouse and Detection Tower to remove the hexproof from our opponent's creatures, so in case they do have creatures that have protection, we could still target those ones. And then lots of draw on the deck, so High Society, Hunter, and Harvester of Souls are benefiting whenever a non-token creature dies, you draw. Grave Bind lets you target something, and then you draw it the next upkeep. Blood Pact lets you draw 2 cards at the cost of 2 life. Same with Ambition's cost, but it's 3 cards and 3 life. Blade Brand, Aphotic Wisps lets you target again, and then you draw, so it's almost like a mono black spell slinger here. And then Ancient Cravings letting you draw 3 and lose 3. And then even more draw. So we're in a monocolor, so War Room for a single life we're going to draw. Kotho-Fed Soul Hoarder says that whenever a permanent owned by another player puts in the graveyard, you get to draw and lose a life, so another death trigger benefit here. Siphon Mind's making everybody discard a card and you're drawing. Sign in Blood, drawing at the cost of 2 life. Sugar Rush is another target one. Read the Bones is letting you scry first. Succumb to Temptations, letting you draw 2 and lose 2. Night Haze is another single spell that's going to target and let you draw. Night's Whisper, you're doing it at the cost of losing 2 life. And then Morbid Opportunist, whenever a creature dies, you're going to draw. It only happens once a turn, though. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video. And if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.